my channel. This is Movie Reviews. My name is Aselton, and today we are going to review the new horror film, The Unholy. This movie, I can't say the director's name, but it's directed by this guy down here. His name is going to be right there, and this film is also produced by Sam Raimi and stars Jeffrey Dean Morgan. A hearing-impaired girl is visited by the Virgin Mary and can suddenly hear, speak, and heal the sick. As people flock to witness her miracles, terrifying events unfold. So The Unholy is a new horror film that came out this year, and I like horror films. I like simple horror films. I love really good horror films. Horror films is one of my favorite genres in movies. So, it's one of those horror films that I went to see. I was curious about this movie, like the trailers of the movie looked very interesting, but also, this is also produced by Sam Raimi. Most of his produced work was really well done, like Don't Breathe and Crawl. Yes, last year's The Grudge. That movie sucked, but I gave The Unholy a chance, especially that this movie is starring Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I love this actor. So, this movie does look terrifying from the trailers, so I literally watched this movie just expecting a really simple and fun horror film. But what I got from The Unholy is a very boring horror film that had some okay scares. That's disappointing to say, because this movie has a plot that I felt like, okay, it's interesting for a horror film. But what they've done to this plot of this movie, just make it as a generic horror film that we've seen so many times before. Is the scares in this movie scary? At parts, I did jump. Only once in this movie. There's a scare that I find very, very clever. But the rest, we saw the scares coming. There are scares in this movie that I'm like, okay, this is gonna happen, and this is gonna happen. And I hate that. I want to see scares that are just unexpected and make me jump. And sadly for The Unholy, we only get one of those. But this movie has some positives, like Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I think his performance in this film was really well done. I think his performance was fantastic in the film. He's the best part about this movie because he's a good actor. He plays a journalist that really wants a story until he goes to this town where this young girl in the film can speak to the Virgin Mary, and that's the story he's basically focusing on in the film. And I find his character the most interesting, not the best thing the character can do in a movie, but the most interesting that saved this film. I think the girl played by Cricket Brown in the film that speaks to Virgin Mary, her character was actually pretty decent. I think her performance in the film was really, really well done. At times you're like, yeah, okay, she's really trying in this film. And I want to see Cricket Brown more movies because I think this is her first movie she's in. I'm not that sure if she's in anything else. I haven't seen her before, so probably not. But she did a good job in the film. Most of the acting was well done in the film. Just the problem with The Unholy is that this film goes for a story that we've kind of seen many times before. It's a movie that I find it quite boring, and the jump scares are the things that are like, okay, it'll wake you up to continue getting your eyes on for this movie. That's what I felt like. The scares are the things, it's like, okay, dialogue, everyone's falling asleep, and then blah, jump scare, and then I'm like, okay, I'm awake, I didn't sleep. I didn't sleep at all. That's what The Unholy felt like to me. The scares in the movie, though, are just pretty bland. Like, they're scares that we've seen so many times before in other horror movies. And that's very disappointing to say because this is produced by Sam Raimi, who did the Evil Dead movies. I love Sam Raimi. He's such a talented filmmaker. I just feel like this film is just brought in by the wrong director and by the wrong writers. And that's disappointing because the director of this movie, I couldn't say his name, it's Evan something, I know that. It's his directorial debut, and I was very disappointed by that. It's filmed very, very well, that's another positive. I think this film is filmed really well for some of the scares. But I felt like he could have tried a bit better, in my opinion. Overall, The Unholy is a very stereotypical horror film that didn't give us anything new. It's not a film that is special. If you just want to see a pretty decent horror film that could scare you, or you want to see something interesting and maybe this film won't bore you, be my guest. But in my opinion, I did feel a bit bored throughout the film, and the jump scares are kind of like the distraction to wake us up from this boring story, in my opinion. I'm going to give The Unholy a C-. So guys, that is my review for The Unholy. Let me know what you think of this movie in the comments below. Do you like the movie, hate the movie, or you thought it's okay? Just let me know in the comments below. Make sure you guys follow me on Facebook, Stardust, Instagram, Twitter, and Letterboxd. All the social media links are down below. Keep contact with me, and make sure you guys subscribe to my channel. Notified for my latest movie reviews and upcoming movie content. And have a nice day.